Good morning, everybody. I'm Miss Vanessa. I'm a youth services librarian at Five Corners. I'm filling in today for Miss Kate, who you usually see. I'm sorry, I have no dogs to show you because I know that Kate always has her dogs in the background. I have a cat, but as many of you know, they hide, and she only comes out when she wants food. So she's full, so she's hiding somewhere. But again, happy Pride Month. And as I said earlier, before a whole bunch of people logged in, Pride Month is really, for me, about celebrating who you are, loving yourself for who you are, and appreciating those who love you, and accepting others for who they are and who they love, because we're all different, and our differences are really what make us the same, because that's what we all share. We all share the fact that we're different. So I just wanted to celebrate that with you and read a short book. It's a little bit on the younger side. I know we had some seventh graders that said they were logging in, but just enjoy. And maybe if you have a little brother or sister, you might want to read this to them in the future, because it's a very simple book and it's really sweet. So I'm going to share my screen quickly and I will get started with you. So here we are. The book is called Clive and His Babies. So I'm just gonna click on present mode.
We
And
have,
we'll get started.
how long is the presentation of Five Corners?
It's about 2 minutes.
They're asking if they can see it because they missed it.
Oh, okay, sure. Let me
Yep.
read the book and then I will play it for you, okay?
Thank you.
I'm glad that you guys wanna see Five Corners. When we're open, please come and visit me, okay?
And Miss Chapman is saying she can't share the screen with her students. Make sure you're sharing it through Google Meets. If not, you have to share the actual link that you got once you registered.
Oh, okay, so.
I can't respond to you. I don't know, it's not letting me. Okay, sorry. There you go.
Can you hear me? So I don't have access to the Google Meets. When they registered, I'm not too sure who puts them in. I have no idea what's going on with that. Let me
No,
see.
that's the teacher. When she registered, she should have gotten the link. So she has to click on the link and share Google Meets, Google Meets and share via Zoom.
Okay.
You can email me if she has a problem. jvaldora@jcboe.org.
And if they have questions, I can probably try and answer it in the Q&A, but then I'm not going to be able to read Clive and His Babies.
No, I got the Q&A. You're fine.
Thank you.
That's my fan club.
So this is Clive and His Babies, and it's by Jessica Spaniel. So here's Clive, and Clive pushes his babies. "Let's go, babies," says Clive, and Clive has his babies in the stroller. How many babies does Clive have, everybody? Can you hold up your fingers and show me? 2, right? And what are those little things flying over his babies' heads? They look like dragonflies, right? And I believe there are 2 dragonflies as well. So now Clive slides his babies down the slide. "Whee!" shouts Clive, and there they go, down the slide. Clive reads to his babies. "Milk time," says Clive. Clive and Mina show the babies how to use a potty, which is very important, right? Most of us are potty trained. Clive shows his babies to Moshi Cat, and Moshi Cat looks like my cat a little bit. Moshi Cat looks like my cat, whose name is Phoenix. Clive and Asif splash the babies. So some of us will be splashing soon, right? Because it's getting nice and warm outside, and we're gonna wanna get nice and cool like Clive, his babies, and his friend Asif. Clive gives his babies a ride. Whee! There they go, riding on their bike. And Clive and his friend Jeffrey, they dress the babies. So it looks like they're dressing them in good clothes. It looks like it's warm outside, so those are good clothes for the babies. Clive then reads to his babies. What does his cat Moshi in the background say? What do cats say? Meow, right? Yes, so Moshi's enjoying the story with Clive and his babies too. Finally, it's bedtime, so now Clive tucks his babies in with a nice blanket. And he gives his babies a big hug. Shh, babies Clive whispers, because sometimes babies are fussy when they go to sleep. So he's rocking them. Shh. He takes them out, and look who takes over the babies' beds. It's Moshi the cat. So Clive decides to take his babies into bed, and he really loves his babies. The end. That's it. That's the end of Clive and His Babies. So I know that some people are saying they want to see the Five Corners video again, so I can share that with you if that's what you'd really like to do. See the video again. I'll just rewind it, and you get to see Five Corners. So here we go.
Hello, I'm Emily. I'm a bunny here at Five Corners. Just kidding, I'm a librarian here, and I want to show you around the wonderful Five Corners Library. So we want to welcome you when we are open. So we're going to start by showing you the picture books. This is my favorite section. Picture books are books with words and pictures. For example,
We don't see anything.
here's the book, Saturday by Ugi Mora. Has words and pictures. We invite you to come and join us and pick out some books that you would like to read, and we hope to see you soon.
Hey, I think a lion or a tiger, but actually I am one of the youth services librarians. My name is Miss Vanessa. I'm here at Five Corners. I work with Emily, the bunny librarian you saw in the last clip, and I'm here to show you our chapter books. These are fiction, but they have, I'm sorry, what did you say?
We don't see anything. We don't see you sharing anything.
No? Okay, let's see. It says you're sharing your screen. Let me try again. We'll stop and then we'll reshare. Some people are saying I see it. So some people see and
Oh, I don't know. Then maybe mine's Mercury in retrograde. Oh, now I see it. Whatever you did, now I see it.
I
Sorry.
just restarted. But does everybody want me to start from here, or were you the only one who couldn't see it? I'm just going to start from
here.
Okay. More words than pictures, like Emily showed you. Emily showed you the picture books, but I'm going to show you the chapter books. So the big difference is, as you get older, you're going to need less pictures and you're going to want to read more words. So we're here to help you while you're young. You get the picture books, and very soon you'll be reading the chapter books with just words. You're a smart group, so we know you can do it. Next stop is our book drop. So, my book is upside down. So if you're going to drop your book off, you just come to the book drop. Hi, Kitty. I'm here to drop my book off that I've read already.
Of course, we love to take your books back so we can give you more.
So you just put it right into the book drop, and we clean it safely, and we can put it back on the shelf for other kids to enjoy. Bye, Kitty. So this is where all of the special events happen. We are in the auditorium of Five Corners. And now I am Miss Unicorn Librarian here to show you. We have Miss Emily, who has a special book, and we have a green screen in the background. This is where a lot of special things have happened. So Miss Emily is going to give you a little preview of a book that she may or may not read.
Clark the Shark.
Clark the Shark. Yes. So if you want to hear Miss Emily read a book, definitely stop by Five Corners when we're open. We'd love to read Clark the Shark with you. But until then, thank you for coming to Five Corners. We hope to see you in the future. Bye. Bye. Everyone take care and stay safe. So that was me and Miss Emily. Miss Emily is the other librarian that works at Five Corners with me. And we still have 5 minutes, so I do have another book for you guys. I decided to read a book about a firefighter. So actually, this is called Firefighters in My Community, which is perfect for what we're presenting today with you, right? So this is by Gina Belisario, and we will begin. So this is our class, and they're going to meet a firefighter, just like you guys. So this class is meeting in person. Yes, we're digital, but we're still meeting a firefighter today. Firefighter Jim helps in emergencies. And look at all of the other firefighters in the background. They're cleaning their fire truck. Jim helps out at traffic accidents. See, because firefighters just don't fight fires. He rescues people trapped by floods, and he deals with medical emergencies. Fire departments take ambulances to people who are sick and need help fast. So sometimes the firefighters show up to emergencies too. I know when I hear sirens, it's usually firefighters that are coming first. So firefighters also fight plenty of fires, and they save people in danger. Some firefighters stop wildfires. These fires burn in forests and fields. You see, there's the city fires, and then we have the forest fires. So we get all kinds of fires, and firefighters have to fight all of them. When I grow up, I want to help people, says Maya. So did I, says Jim. I learned how to do my job at the Fire Academy. So what do firefighters do besides fight fires? Let's see, what do they do? Firefighter Jim uses rescue tools. An axe opens windows, a fire hose carries water. And this chapter is all about firefighter tools. So the firefighter Jim is showing them all the tools that he uses to fight fires. Fire can fill a room with smoke. Jim's air pack gives him clean air. He breathes through a mask that goes on his face. So that way he doesn't inhale a lot of smoke because that's very dangerous, right? I'm sure we'll hear about how dangerous that is. Special pants and coats keep Jim safe in fires and protect him against burns. So those clothes have to be very thick, right? Very thick to protect you against fire. And I'm sure they make you really hot, especially if you're fighting a fire, which is already hot. Oh, this picture is a little sideways, so you kind of you might have to do this a little. A fire truck is a tool too. It is also called a hook and ladder truck. A metal ladder on the truck helps firefighters climb high. Ladder hooks latch onto the roof and they keep the ladder steady. So you can see the hook right here latched onto the roof. Kind of, right? Now I see it. This is about community heroes, this chapter. Firefighter Jim teaches the community about fire safety. So these are all of the things that Firefighter Jim and his other coworkers, his other firefighters do. Jim helps Gavin's family make a fire escape plan. The plan shows them how to escape if their homes catch fire. Firefighter Jim came to our school during Fire Safety Week. We practiced ways to escape a fire and learned how to prevent one. We think Firefighter Jim is a hero. What can people do to practice fire safety? Let's see. So this is a little bit about some community helpers. So firefighters are people in the community, and they're community helpers, and they live and work in the same town and neighborhood. So they're first responders also. They report to emergencies, and when they're not fighting fires, they plan ahead. So you have to have a plan, it seems, right? They look for exits in buildings, count doors, and draw maps of rooms and find the nearest fire hydrants. That way, when the fire actually happens, they're prepared when they get there. Firefighters must learn life-saving skills. They get first aid training, they practice caring for wounded people and giving medicine. Many firefighters also learn how to handle more serious medical emergencies. Safety is very important when fighting fires. Firefighters they follow a 2 in, 2 out rule. So we're gonna probably hear more about this. It seems like that rule is 2 firefighters go into a building and 2 stay out and watch for the danger that others can't see while they're inside the building. And then there's some questions here which we'll have our guest answer, because I think that's probably a better way to handle that. And it's exactly 10:15, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to be handing it over to Mr. Reyes.
And good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear me? Good, good, good. Excellent. How you doing, Jennifer? Good to see you again.
Great. I gave you a wonderful introduction. I said how happy I am to have you today. And I know October is our fire prevention month, but we weren't able to have you. And we're so excited for you to teach the children today, and that I'm going to ask them a lot of questions at the end.
Okay.
Well,
Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to your meeting. I'm very honored to be here talking to all you and all the students, the panelists and the students. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys about fire safety, which is very, very important, like I said, because it's a matter of your safety, of your life. You know, we want to make sure that everybody's well, everybody's protected, not only your lives, but also your property. As Miss Vanessa was saying, I like her little story there about firefighting. You know, it's pretty accurate. There's a lot of other things that are missing, obviously, because not everything is going to be exactly how we want it, but we try to do the best that we can, and she did an excellent job. Very good, Miss Vanessa. Thank you very much for that introduction. First of all, I wanted to tell you guys about fires, because fires is a very serious matter. You don't want to be caught in a fire, first of all, because it's dangerous. You know, it can kill you. And I have to say that. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word, because sometimes they, that's okay?
Fine. It's reality.
Okay. It can hurt you really, really seriously. So you don't want to end up in a hospital if you do get burned, because that's what will happen to you. Remember that it's always a fire, the smoke in a fire that's going to get to you first, and it's going to sort of like knock you out or incapacitate you, meaning that you're not going to be able to do much because you're going to inhale smoke. And if you inhale smoke, you're in a lot of trouble, because it doesn't take a long time for you to be in a smoky condition for you to be knocked out unconscious. And that's the worst thing that you want to be, is unconscious during a fire, because then how are you going to get out? So what is the first thing you want to do? You want to identify that there is a fire in the house or in the area where you're at. Maybe it's a school, maybe it's a building. I'm not sure, but you want to identify that there's a fire. If there is, the best thing and the first thing you should do is to notify everybody in the area, in the immediate area, that there is a fire somewhere. And then with the people that you're with, or the individual that you're with, try to start looking for a way to get out. That's the first thing you want to do, is get out of that building, that home, whatever it is. Get out and don't come back. Never try to come back. You might say, oh, I forgot. If let's say it's your house, I forgot to get my cat, and the cat is still in there. Don't worry about the cat. The cat is very smart. The cat is probably already outside waiting for you to get out. So do not go back in. If you have to go back and get any kind of items, like maybe it's wintertime and it's freezing outside, don't go back inside the fire to go get your coat. Do not do that. Stay outside. We're going to take care of you. If you're going to need a coat, we're going to come with blankets, and we're going to make sure that you're nice and warm. We might even put you inside a fire truck while you wait till the fire is out. Always get out. Okay. So never return back to a fire. How do you know there's a fire? Well, we can use one of these. Hopefully everybody should have one of these by now, which is a smoke detector. Very, very useful. Reason why is because it's going to notify you whenever there is smoke in the house. Whenever there's any kind of smoke, it's going to start beeping. So make sure that you have the battery that's a current good battery, because sometimes a lot of people forget to change the batteries. But the newer ones, they don't require batteries. They're a 10-year battery, so you don't have to worry about the battery. But if you do have an old one, I recommend that you get a new one that you don't have to worry about the batteries. But like I said, if you do have an old one that requires a battery, make sure that the battery is current, that it's a good fresh battery, so that it can work. Because if you're sleeping in the middle of the night or any time of the day and this starts to beep, it's telling you that it senses that there's smoke. And if there's smoke, wherever there's smoke, there's a fire. And like I said, you don't want to be overcome. You don't want to be like ambushed or mugged by smoke, because it's going to knock you out. And if it knocks you out, what can happen is maybe the fire will come and burn you. Remember, you're going to get hurt by the smoke, before you get burned by the fire first. So that's the most important thing, is to make sure that you get out of the building, the house, where there's any heavy smoke. You cannot breathe smoke. Nobody can breathe smoke. We can breathe, the firefighters, because we have, like Miss Vanessa was showing you, we have the equipment and we have the outfits, the gear, the suits, that we can stay inside a burning, building or room for a long period of time. Your clothes that you wear right now burns right away. The clothes that I wear is specially made that it does not burn. It's fire resistant. It's fire resistant. It will not burn. It's going to take a long time for it to be in contact directly with flames for it to start to burn. So you're not a firefighter. We're the firefighters. Go out. When you go out, go to an area where, if there's no one there, where you're going to wait there until the fire department arrives, or the police department, or the EMT, which is the ambulance people, and let them know that you're not inside the house. You have to let us know, because if, like, let's say a neighbor comes, or maybe one of your relatives comes and says to us, my little brother or my little sister or my father or mother, they're still in the house, then we're going to stop what we're doing by putting out the fire to go search and rescue them. And if you're already outside, you didn't let nobody know, then we're going to go there. And instead of trying to put out the fire and help anybody else, we're going to stop doing what we're doing to look for you, because you are more important to us than a house. So we're going to slow down putting the water and start bringing more people to search and look for you. And if you're already outside, then we're wasting time. And now your house is going to burn down. So please, when you go out to the area, which is usually a tree or a pole, or even your neighbor's house, but if it's somebody that you can trust, do not go into a stranger's house or into a house where somebody you cannot trust if there's a fire in your house, okay? But let us know, I am safe, I'm okay, I'm not inside the house. I'm not inside the house. This way, we're going to take care of you. If you're injured or if you're burned, we're going to take care of you. If you're freezing, we're going to keep you warm. We're going to give you a little bit of water. We're going to make sure that we put a blanket around you to keep you warm. So always practice, right? Do not go back, never go back. Always practice in your house with your parents. And I know it might sound a little silly that you tell your mom and dad, we have to practice a fire drill in the house. The reason why you have to practice is important about, having the fire drill in your house is because when there is an actual fire, you know exactly what to do. You know that you have to get down low in the fire, try to, walk to the door. And if there's, you're in the room and there's maybe a fire on the other side of that door, try to feel it with the back part of your hand. Try to feel it. Don't grab the doorknob. Do not grab the doorknob and twist. Try to see if that doorknob or that door is hot. If it's hot, do not open that door. That means that the fire is on the other side of the door and it's going to burn you. So you don't want to walk into the fire or into the smoke that's on the other side of your door. Instead, go to the window in your bedroom, open it up and wave like this and say, make sure that that door is closed. If you can put like blankets or clothing underneath the bottom so the smoke doesn't come into the room, do that. But go to the window and start waving and say fire, 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 fire. And no matter where you are, we're going to hear you. And we're going to bring, like Miss Vanessa showed you on the truck, we're going to bring the ladder up, okay? And we're going to rescue you and take you out of that room where the fire is on the other side of the door to rescue you. So make sure if you feel the door and it's hot, with the back part of your hand, not the palm of your hand, because if you go to grab the doorknob, you're going to burn your palm. And now if your palm is burned, you can't use that hand. But if it gets burned on the back side of your hand and you're feeling it, okay, and you're feeling it like this, you can get this part of your hand burned if the door is very hot. you can burn it because you can still use your hand. But if you burn your palm, it's going to be hard for you to use your hand, and you're going to need your hands so you can get out. Practice the fire plan. Practice, very important. Try to practice it twice a year with your parents. If you live in a house that has a window that's close to the ground, then maybe your parents might say you can climb out the window and go out where it's safe, and go to the area where you should wait for everybody else to go there. You always have to plan for an area where you want to meet with your family. And if you see that no one in your family is there and you know they were home, let the firefighters know that your parents are in the house, but you or your brother or your little sister or your little, your relatives, let us know that somebody's in the house so that we can go back inside. Because remember, we have the gear, all of the gear and the mask, okay, so that we can go back inside the smoke. You do not. So we can go back in, and we're going to go back in because we have to find a fire to shut it off. You do not go back in. You always go out and stay out. Always go out and stay out. If there's a situation where there's smoke in the room, you want to stay underneath the smoke. Don't go out in the smoke because you're going to choke and you're not going to breathe, and then you're going to be knocked out, and then the flames is going to come and burn you. So always stay underneath the smoke until you find the door or a window where you can get out. If you're on a high floor and you cannot go out the window, you know you can't jump out of a second floor or third floor or fifth floor window. You cannot do that because you're going to get hurt. You might die by jumping out that window. Open that window because our ladders are, tall enough that we can extend them and get you out of that window. Remember, you're going to yell out fire, 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 fire. A lot of times it's better for you to say fire, because if you say fire, you're going to get the attention of everybody that's, on the bottom, on the sidewalk, walking around, or that's in front of your building or your house. If you say help, sometimes people say, it's probably a crazy person, always yelling help. So it's more important that you say fire, fire, fire. For the firefighters, yes, the face mask is what protects us from breathing the bad smoke. You don't have a face mask like the firefighters, so that's what we use. Is that the question that was answered? Did I answer it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So yeah, if you see somebody else in the fire, like I said, and you can't get to them, then you go out, but you let the fire department know. The great thing about living in Jersey City, and I have to brag a little bit, is that you live in probably one of the best fire departments in the country. We're in the top 10 in the nation as being a great and awesome fire department. And it only takes us from the firehouse to your house or anywhere where the fire is at. It only takes us 2 minutes to get there. A lot of other towns and a lot of other fire departments, it takes them 5-10 minutes to get to the fire. Remember, fire is very, very fast. Very, very fast. Fortunately, the Jersey City Fire Department, we're just as fast. So we're going to get there real soon. It might feel like it's a long time because the fire, it feels like it's taking forever. But believe it or not, everything is going so quickly. Everything is going so quickly. Fire is very, very hot. That's why you don't want to be where the fire is at. The smoke is very, very hot. That's why you don't want to breathe the smoke inside, because the hot smoke is like hot steam or worse, even hotter. And if you breathe it, it's going to burn your throat. It's going to burn your lungs. And that's why you don't want to stay where the smoke is at. You do not want to do that. Practice an escape plan with your family. I have to keep on telling you, it's very important that you do. Make sure that your house has a smoke detector that is working properly. If it's not, then replace it. Replace it. If you live in a high-rise building, because I know in Jersey City now we're getting a lot of high-rise building, tall buildings. All right. You don't want to go, if there's a fire, you don't want to go inside the elevator. Instead, you take the stairs and walk down the stairs and go outside. Remember, the stairs. Never take 2 stories. Okay, 2 stories, you don't have an elevator, but if you cannot get out, remember what I said, close the door to the bedroom where you're at and open the window and start yelling, fire, 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 because we're going to see you, or the police officer is going to see you. If you have a fire in an oven, okay, and that was a good question, close the oven. Close the oven door. Do not open it. If it's a stove fire that you're cooking, and then all of a sudden, fire, the pan, starts to have fire and flare up with flames, get a cover if you can and cover it. Cover it with the pan. I mean, with the cover, the pan. All right. Do not put water on fire that's on the stove, because what's going to happen is the water is going to spread the flames, and now it might fall onto the back of the stove or the back wall or your curtains or whatever's nearby. Do not, because what's going to happen is going to flare up. It's going to go with the flames. All right. Because water and oil, hot oil that's burning, does not mix. So do not put water. Instead, try to cover it, or if you can grab the handle without it burning you, put it in the oven and close the door, because whatever is burning inside the oven cannot come out. Even the burning pizza, if it's burning, leave it in the oven. Do not take it out, because now you're going to get all the smoke that's going to come out, because while it's inside the oven, the walls are protecting you from the flames coming out of it. That's why we can bake in an oven, because the walls are made, there's special walls in an oven that the flames do not go out to come out to burn you or anybody else, all the smoke. It'll stay inside the oven. If you have anything burning, and then you can grab it like a pan, open up the oven and put it in there and close the oven and keep it in there until the fire goes out. Never put water on a pan that's cooking and it's flaring up with fire. Never do that. Never do that. Getting back to the building. When you are in the building or even in the house, also make sure that, like I said, you tell somebody that you are okay, that you left the burning area, the place where your apartment, your friend's house, wherever it was, make sure you got to let them know. You got to let the fire department know that you're okay. Do not go into a stranger's house. Do not go inside a car. Do not hide. Do not hide inside a fire or outside the fire. You can never hide inside a fire, please. Never do that, especially you little kids. Don't hide underneath the bed. Don't hide inside the bathtub. Don't hide inside the closet. Instead, go to an area that you're able to get out of the apartment or the house. Go to that area. That's why it's important to practice an escape plan with your family, an escape plan. If you have to use a fire escape, yes. If you have to use the fire escape, you can go on the fire escape, but make sure that before you go on the fire escape, before you do any of that, that you already practice and your parents can see if it's safe enough to go onto that fire escape and practice going onto that fire escape. Most of the time in Jersey City, the fire escapes are very, very safe because we do inspections to make sure that all the fire escapes in Jersey City are safe. And that's the best way for you to get out, because you're not inside the building, inside the apartment, you're on the outside, so you're safer. But make sure that that fire escape is okay, that it's nothing bad is going to happen if you go onto that fire escape, that let's say it's not going to fall. But we're doing very good inspections, not only us, the fire department, but the building department, to make sure that all the fire escapes in Jersey City are working properly, that they are safe for you to use them. So whenever there's a fire, you can get out. You can get out. Now, like I said, do not try to put out the fire yourself. Do not try to put the fire out. If it's a small little fire and you can put it out with a cup of water, that's fine. That's fine. So, but if it's a big fire, like a big trash can or any furniture inside your house, do not put it out. Close the door where it's at. Go outside. Whenever you leave a room in a fire, always close the door, just like you practice when you do the fire drills in your schools. You always have to make sure that door is closed so that the fire does not spread. Because if the doors are open, the fire is going to spread and it's going to become a bigger fire. And then you're going to make our jobs a little more difficult because now the fire grew to be too big. So make sure that you close all your doors behind you. Do not leave any doors open. Do not leave any of the doors open. Close them and go outside and stay outside and let somebody know. When you go outside, do not stay inside where the fire is to call the fire department. No, you go outside and make the phone call because now everybody has a cell phone. So go outside and call the fire department. And when you call them, you have to say to them, my name is so-and-so. I live in 123 Main Street and there's a fire in my house. And they might ask you, is there another street, the intersecting street that crosses it? And you tell them yes, but give them the number, the address where the fire is. And once we get that information, then they're gonna send us out. The dispatch gets that information, they're gonna send us out and we're gonna be there in 2 minutes. And the most is 3 minutes if there's a lot of traffic. We're very, very, very aggressive, meaning that we put on our gear real quick. It takes us like 30 seconds. We get in the fire truck and we go and we get there. And by the time we get there, if you're looking at your watch, you're gonna say, wow, they really got here fast. Even if there's a lot of traffic, we're gonna try to get around all the traffic. And then if we can't get through, there are other firehouses that they're gonna get there before us. So in Jersey City, we have about 26 firehouses, which is a lot. It is a lot. That means that we're able to cover the whole city equal amount of time to get from the firehouse to that location. So you're gonna have a lot of firefighters there. You're gonna have a lot of firefighters. Try not to stand, how you doing, Matthew? Try not to stand in front of the fire, in front of the door, the front door of your house. Go to the side, like I said, to a tree, a telephone pole, or by the neighbor's house. Okay, and that's the first thing we want to do. Absolutely, thank you. And I was going to get there. When you go outside, what's the number you're going to call? Anybody give me that answer? 911. 911. Not 991, it's 911. 911. Okay. Very good. Very good.
You are so popular right now. I can't even keep up with the questions that they're putting in the Q&A. I mean, what happens? They really love you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm trying to read it as quick as I can, but like you said, it's pretty quick. They're going pretty quick. So
they are going. Like
it's 911. 911, not 119 or 991. It's 911. No, a fan will not help in a fire. Absolutely not. A fan is going to blow air into the fire and it's going to grow, or it's going to spread the smoke to another direction. So you don't use a fan to get the fire out. If there's a like, let's say your parent or your mother or anybody is cooking in your house, or you burn something and there's a lot of smoke in your house, you can open up a window to let the smoke out. But do not get a fan. Do not get a fan because you might blow and it's gonna fan will blow air, and air has oxygen, and you're gonna maybe feed a little more the fire. So you don't want to feed the fire. So do not use a fan. No, do not use a fan at a fire. Never. We only use a fan to suck out the smoke in a room. We'll bring a big mechanical fan and it'll and take the smoke out to help us to be able to see, a little clearer where the fire is. Because remember, when there's a fire, there's a lot of smoke. Again, I'm going to say this to you. try not to, all the scientists that are here, do not play with the stove. Do not play with the outlets, the electrical outlet when you're plugging things, because they can spark and create fire. You don't want to do that. Do not play with matches. Do not play with lighters. Do not, because you're going to burn something and then everybody's going to be in trouble. You don't want anything to happen to you. You don't want anything to happen to your family. You don't want anything to happen to anybody that you love or a friend that's in a fire. You don't want any of that to happen. So do not play with those things. You might get curious. Remember, yes, close the door all the time. Whenever you leave a room, close the door all the time. But don't play with matches, with a lighter, with the stove, with anything that has, fire or anything that has electricity. Do not play with those things because they're going to create fire. They are going to create fire. So you don't want to do that because that's going to start the fire. That's going to start the fire. Instead, you want to be the good guy where everybody's going to say, wow, I'm glad you're safe. Instead of them saying, you were the one that caused that fire. And you don't want to hear that. You don't want everybody to come down on you, because it was your fault that there was a fire in your house. So you're not going to do that. You're not going to play with all these things that are going to start a fire. Yeah. So elevators in the buildings, never go into the elevators. Always take the stairs. Always make sure in your house that you have a working smoke alarm. Okay, a working smoke alarm. If you need to change the battery, change the battery. If it's too old, then get the new ones, because the new ones, you don't have to worry about changing the batteries. I don't know, what does that mean by birthday cake? Oh, because of COVID, I just have to let you guys know, and the emergency, and I know that everything is opening up again. So hopefully I'll be able to go to your schools. Miss Jennifer will let me know maybe sometime down the road, but right now they're not allowing me to do it. So that's why we're doing this right now on Zoom or virtually, where we can talk like this. But yeah, I know it's unfortunate. But the thing is that we try to go out, we try to communicate with you. We had a hard time in the fire department communicating with a lot of people because for security reasons, they don't want us to go and connect with a lot of people. Because remember, we're a government. We work for the city of Jersey City, so we work together with the police. And there's a lot of people that are bad out there, and they don't want us using the computers to talk to a lot of people, because maybe one of you are the bad guys and you're, making believe you're the good guys. But I know all of you guys are good guys. I know all you guys are good guys, and we were able to do this time around.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate it.
Okay.
You're able to reach over 1,000 students so far today, so
Wow.
That's great.
Wow, it was my honor. I hope you guys receive, and learn something really good today. It's very important. Practice an escape plan with your family. Do it 2 times a year. Oh, and I'm sorry, Vanessa, if I still have a couple of more minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have time.
You have time.
I'm sorry, I'm saying Vanessa. It's Jennifer. I don't know why I'm calling
Yeah,
you
we're
Jennifer.
together.
Sorry.
We're both here, so
Bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have time.
Okay, Jennifer. The thing is, 2 ways out of your house. 2 ways out. So when you do the practicing in your house, how to get out of your house or your building, find 2 ways out. You might have a front door, okay, and you might have a back door. If you cannot go out the front door, at least now you can go out the back door and get out safely through the back door. So that's why you have to find 2 ways out of the fire. Do not stay there. No, as soon as you hear the smoke alarm go off, look around to see if there's any smoke, and then try to get out. If there is smoke, try to get out immediately, and then call the fire department once you're outside. You do not have a lot of time to be in that smoke. Fire moves very quickly, and it grows really fast, faster than what you think it does. It's extremely fast. As a firefighter, I've been a firefighter for 28 years, and I've seen how fast a fire grows. It can start out like a little candle, and it falls down, burns maybe the curtains, and now the whole area is lit up in fire. And you do not want that, because it's going to go really, really fast, and it's going to spread really quickly, and you're not going to be able to get out. It's going to be a little too late, because there's going to be too much smoke or flames, and you don't want the flame. The smoke is going to hurt you. It's going to harm you really bad. It's going to knock you out, and then the fire is going to come and burn you. If you don't have a back door, try to find a window. Try to find a window, because you don't want to go out the front door. You never want to go out if there's flames or a lot of smoke by the front door. You don't want to go out through that door. You want to go in another, through another area. It can be a window. And like I said, if there's no other way to get out, then close the door in your room and get by that window so that we can come and get you from, if you live on the second floor and you don't have a second door, go to the window. We're going to get you through the window. We're going to get you through the window. All right.
They're asking if you help with forest fires.
We do, but we don't have a lot of forests in this area. We have been down to Secaucus and the Meadowlands, quite a bit of fires there, and they're really bad. So we do that. I look up to the guys like in other states where they have all these forest fires, because forest fires from the times that I've been in the Meadowlands and all those meadow fires, all that grass, the tall grass that you see there is super dangerous, because what happens, it'll start to burn and you can put it out. And when you turn around to start putting out fire in another direction, the one that you already put out starts to burn all over again, because it's so hot. It dries up and starts coming back. I remember one time that we had to protect the post office by Secaucus, which is the biggest post office in the country, and all the grass and the shrubs all around it were starting to burn, the meadowland. And what happened was, we just finished putting out one side of all the fire, and then when we turned to go this way, next thing we know, not only 5 minutes later, the grass we already put out was burning again. So we had to leave everything and run out of there. So those guys that fight forest fires, I salute them, because they're true heroes, because they're doing all of that without a lot of water. At least when we have fires here in the city, we have a lot of fire trucks and a lot of men working. Those guys, sometimes there's only 2-3 guys in all of those forest fires working, and they don't have a fire truck like me that has water that can give me water. They're trying to do it with shovels and dirt and try to put it out. Or if they got like little water cans and try to, put it out like that. And trust me, when you have a forest fire, we have a lot of fires. You see the news, like the places in California, where you got to be 18 and live in Jersey City to become a Jersey City firefighter. So you see how the people's houses, the whole house and the whole town can burn down because of forest fire. Oh, you have a long way. Don't worry. Don't get in trouble. Listen to mom and dad and the teachers, okay? Don't get in trouble. Whatever you do, don't get in trouble, because if you get in trouble with the police or anybody, you're not going to become a firefighter. You got to be a good guy, a really good guy. And you got to be strong. You got to be strong and in shape.
Can you tell them how many pounds your turnout gear is?
My turnout gear, which I don't have here because they don't allow me to bring it indoors, is 80 pounds. 80 pounds. That's why you got to be strong, because remember, I weigh like about 175 and then 80 pounds, and now I have to carry you. That's a lot of weight. So you got to be pretty strong to become a firefighter. And you got to be a little smart too, because 80 pounds. My gear weighs 80 pounds. You got to be a little smart, because if there's fires, remember, we know that fire can hurt us really bad. So you got to know how to think real quick during emergencies. A lot of people, they panic and they freeze. Firefighters, we stay calm, because we know what we have to do. We know what we have to do, and we got to do it quick, because like I said, fires are very, very fast, and they grow really big. Who weighs 104 pounds? Okay. You weigh 100, okay. That's okay. You can weigh 104 pounds as long as you're strong and you can carry all that weight around with you.
Do you have to stay hydrated, considering
Um,
wearing all of that
what
gear and
happens
then the
is,
fire?
we have a support team or another truck, and they call it the gong wagon. When we go to a fire, yeah, they will hand out water and we'll drink the water. And if we have to go back in, at least we have been hydrated and we can go back in. Yes, when you're working in a fire, you get extremely dehydrated because you have all that heat, and plus the gear that we have is super hot because, like Miss Vanessa said, it's a lot of layers. And the top layer is fire resistant, meaning it does not burn. But then there's 2 more layers behind it, and it's like you're wearing a coat in 100-degree weather. So imagine it's that coat that you're wearing, your winter coat, but instead of 100 degrees, is 700 degrees. So yeah, we start sweating, and by the time we get out, we have to go outside and drink a lot of water. Because if we don't, then we start feeling dizzy because we are dehydrated and we might pass out, or we might have to go to the hospital because we are dehydrated in the fire. So, but that unit that comes, that other, those people, that group of people is another fire truck, an old fashioned fire truck that comes, and they give us water, they give us Gatorade. If we have to drink coffee because it's in the middle of the night, we would drink it, tea, you know. They and a couple of little snacks. Yes, water is excellent for you, especially when you're a firefighter in a fire. You want to drink a lot of water because you want to stay hydrated. You do not want to dehydrate. Is there any other questions?
Can you just emphasize on when there's a fire drill, why it's so important to make sure we're closing the windows and closing the doors? Because I know that sometimes we run out and we forget that, but it's very important to make sure we're doing that.
Okay, the reason why it's important is because, like I said before, like the fan, you don't want to bring air and oxygen into the fire. And if you close the window, okay, and you close the door, nothing's going to come inside that room. No smoke and no fires or flames are going to come inside that room because there's no movement of air inside that room. It's just like a still air. It doesn't go anywhere. So it's going to be harder for the fire, the flame, to go into that room. But if you open up the window and open up the door and there's a fire in the hallway or the room next door, guess where it's going to come? It's going to come into that room also. So you have to close the window and shut the door in a fire drill in your school. You always have to do that.
Thank you.
Somebody says,
my pet peeves during fire drills, I would always slam everybody's doors.
I think somebody said something about vending machines or something like that.
I didn't see a vending machine. I see where did you go to school to become a firefighter? I want to be one when I grow up.
Okay. First of all, you have to apply with the Department of Personnel, which is the New Jersey State Department of Personnel. And once you apply with them, then they're going to give you 2 tests. One is the written test, okay? And if you pass the written test, then you got to take the physical test. And if you pass the physical test, we make decent money, like teachers. So once you pass those 2 tests, then they're going to send you to a fire academy and train you, because you have to know how fire is created, how it grows, and how you can put it out. You have to know how to use all of the equipment to put out the fire. You have to learn all of these things. Just like a police officer, he goes to a police academy, firefighters go to a fire academy. And we're there for, I want to say 9 months, you know, and then like Ms. Vanessa said, that we have to learn how to be firefighters. We have to learn how to be EMTs, the ambulance people, because remember, when in Jersey City, if there's somebody that's sick and calls the ambulance, it's more likely that the fire department is going to get there first. So you're very, very sick. We have to know how to treat you and sort of stabilize you, get you well enough. So when the ambulance comes, they can take you, we can put you inside the ambulance and they take you to the hospital. But we got to make sure that you're stable and that we can help you out with whatever it is you're going through first. So that's why we have to go through that EMS training as firefighters in Jersey City. So it's about 9 months.
Mr. Reyes, I want to know, would you be interested when we can coming to the Five Corners? I don't know if you've ever been to Five Corners, but we have a parking
I
lot.
have. I used to live up in the Heights. So yes, I know it very well.
We have a parking lot there, so we would love to host you and let the kids see you in person when we can safely, of course.
Absolutely. It'll be a pleasure. I wouldn't mind doing that.
Yay.
I miss, actually, Jennifer knows I miss going to all the schools because I used to go to a lot of the schools and talk about fire prevention and, you know, fire safety. As community relations officer for the city, that's what I used to do. And I miss doing all that. So now they have me doing a lot of other work and made me even busier.
Of course.
And not
Of
as fun, I'm
course.
sure.
Of course. You're great at this. We're going to give it to you. I'm like, okay. So is there any other questions? I might have missed a question. I don't know, ladies. Did I miss a question?
They're coming in so quickly. I'm trying to answer them in the chat and in the Q&A, but some of them are a little repetitive. So.
No, not really. It's just regular bottled water. You know, just regular water. All we need is regular water. It doesn't have to be smart or dumb.
One of them was, if can we put on our COVID-19 masks if there's smoke in a fire?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You don't want to do that because these masks, they're not going to stop smoke from getting through them. They're not. You're going to breathe. The smoke is going to go right through it. And if you have that much smoke, it's going to go into your lungs and it's going to knock you out. No, and then the thing is, when you do put them on, if you notice, there's an opening over here, you see? So what are you doing? You're breathing all the smoke. It's going in and you're breathing inside and it's going to knock you out. So you don't want to use this mask. This is not a mask for fires or for smoke. It's not. It's to prevent, you know, the virus from reaching you. Okay. And that's all it's for. So don't use this. And the younger kids, if you, for Halloween, you have a firefighter outfit, that's not a real firefighter outfit. Remember, mine is fireproof, and the gear that I wear, the big coat and pants and boots, they're fire resistant. Excuse me, nothing is fireproof in the world. So it takes a long time for my clothes and my equipment, my gear, my pants and my jacket to burn. It takes a very long time, but you do not have, as a child, that. So if you are a little firefighter for Halloween, do not think that you're going to be safe with that costume that you have on. It's only make-believe what you have. What we have is the real deal. Okay?
Mr. Reyes, someone asked if girls could be firefighters.
Girl power, yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We have right now, I believe it's about 10 or 12 girls in the Jersey City Fire Department, which is quite a bit. Just like the guys, remember, girls, you got to be strong like the guys. Yes, like Jennifer and Miss Vanessa, you got to be strong like them because you're going to be using the same gear and the same equipment, and you're going to have to do the same kind of job. So if you just want to be, you know, a little dainty girl, it's not your job. But if you think that you're tough enough and strong enough to do it, then go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. I want my daughter to do it, but she said, Dad, I don't want it. It's not for me. And she's strong. She's a great athlete, but she don't want to do it. She wants to be a doctor instead.
Oh,
They're needed too.
So
you have to be able to carry 150 pounds during the test. Is that correct?
that's correct.
Okay.
That's
so
correct. Because part of the test is to drag a dummy 150 pounds. Nobody's 150 pounds anymore.
I'm less.
Nobody's 150 pounds. And you got to remember, this is you. I know that we simulate with a vest, that's weighted vest. So simulates that you're wearing the gear, but you're dragging, and it's usually a lot more. You're probably wet by that point because of all the water. That person is probably wet because they were, we came in there, put out most of the fire, and they got wet. Not that they're going to be any much heavier, but yeah. Oh, if you're a football player, you're probably you probably would be a decent firefighter. I was a football player, so women can be firefighters. But remember, you got to be in the right frame of mind and in the right state of, condition wise.
Thank you so much, because it's 11
Thank
students.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to reiterate how thankful we are for having you today. You did an amazing job. Everybody's going to practice 2 ways out of every room and check the batteries in our fire alarms.
Absolutely.
Practice, please, and bother your parents until you have 2 ways out of every single room. And remember, we only call 911 when it's an emergency. And everybody clap our hands right now, because the real heroes are firefighters and police officers, but really firefighters. Because when there's a fire and you're running out, they're running inside, and that takes a very special person. Okay.
Yes.
So they're the real heroes, not our basketball players and our movie stars. Firefighters are the real heroes.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
clap, and everybody have a fantastic Friday. And I can't wait to have Mr. Reyes come in person.
Yes.
I'm looking
Thank you
forward
so
to
much.
it. Seriously.
Stay safe.
Miss Vanessa, if you want, you can get my email from Jennifer. She can give you that
Sure.
information.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hopefully, when
Yes.
everything opens up, I can make a trip out there.
Yeah, I know that the libraries at least are looking to have more access towards the end of June. So I'll keep in touch. I know it's like a fluid thing all the time, but we would love to host you. We were going to do that prior to COVID. We had gotten
Right.
in contact with the department nearest to us, which was the one
Right.
near the Heights.
Yes.
But yeah, COVID like messed everything up. So, but
Yeah,
we would love to host.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But it's great to have you here in this way too. So
I just want to bring this up, if you guys can see this, like
Yeah.
Miss Jennifer said, okay, escape plan. And you see the little map that they have made up, and you see the children coming out and the adult coming out. So, and that's what I want everybody to do, have an escape plan. All righty?
Can you send that to us and we'll post it?
Absolutely.
Okay, and we won't post anything, the video on social media until until it's approved by the higher ups.
All right.
right. Thank you, everybody. Happy Pride
Thank you.
Month.
Thank you,
Enjoy.
everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Behave. Be good. All right. Listen to the teachers. Listen to your parents.
We'll see you next Friday.
See you next Friday. Thank you all.
Fun.
Have a nice
Good
weekend.
seeing you guys.
Thank you so much. Bye.